Hey guys, it's Jenn with Lady Tarot 911. Alright, let's get going. What's the message today? Happy Saturday. Hope everybody's having a great day. It's very beautiful here. Cool like chess. It's very beautiful outside. Alright. Actually, let's go ahead and cleanse real quick. Everybody having a good weekend? I hope so. Nola and I went out and it was just like, we want to be out, but it's super hot. So, it only lasted a few minutes. All right. What is the message? What is the energy? Let's look at your energy. This is for collective. Okay, thank you. So, I listen to other reads as well, and I also, I follow about 5 tarot readers of my own, and that just relates with me, and everybody is getting the 5 of Wands. Okay. What's up with this 5 of Wands? What's on with 5 of Wands? You're having a hard time making a decision. That's what I'm hearing. Right, left, where to go. Should you even think about it? Download in my left ear. Okay, that's what I heard. Should you even think about it? Maybe. So what I'm getting is that somebody is, should I even think about it? Purposefully ignoring maybe what they're being told. Maybe you're getting downloads when you hear ringing in your ear. What's the conflict? What's the conflict about? For who I'm reading for. Real talk, honest and direct conversation. Should I think about it? Candid speech and conversation, laying it out on the table. Should I come forward? Should I lay out all my cards? No pun intended, but should I lay out all my cards? Should I should I get it out? Should I just say it? Where there's smoke, there's fire. There's probably some truth to it, even if it hasn't fully proven yet. Suspicious or negative activity. So where there's smoke, there's fire. And self-actualized, comes into full acceptance of their unique identity, values, and potential, lives authentically and confidently. So somebody is conflicted about saying something. They're worried about, this could be you, this could be somebody that is connected to you, but they're worried about having an honest conversation. What is this? Where there is smoke, there is fire. What is this? Where there's smoke, there's fire. Wanting to be free of something, the conversation, needing to just get something over with, like just forge through the fire to become, we talked a lot about what Mercury retrograde in Leo is. It's about like inner work, and this talks about like becoming authentically you, being, and I said that on my last video. I said I'm here to be authentic and to help you with your story, but this talks about that same thing, that unique identity. Who are you? What do you stand for? What do you want? What do you truly want? And as I continue to study, we were talking about that line in the sand with the 8/8 portal, and that to me, it's an emotional cutoff. It's a I've had enough. It's like I'm done type of cutoff. Oh, taking charge, Emperor. Okay. Hanged Man. And King of Swords. Truth, and truth. And it says there's probably some truth to it. Okay. That's our message. It's about truth. What is the truth? What is the truth, right? So somebody has been wanting to just take charge of something and have some type of conversation, either with somebody on their side or with somebody in their life, having a, laying it out on the table and then seeing what happens. And they want to take charge. There's some conflict. There's conflict, or there's worry about conflict with this new truth. But explain to me, what is this? Where there is smoke, there is fire. Something regarding a house, a home. So, okay, and we've got more red, more fire. So we've got red, conflict, fire, right? 7 of Wands, 5 of Wands. These cards just keep coming up in everybody's reading. Not interested. So what, okay. Within a home, there is conflict happening. I'm hearing arguments, fighting, defensiveness. It's just like there's just constant battles. There's fire in this home. There is acting apathetic. There's a lot of toxic. It's a toxic environment, and it's because either somebody feels stuck. It's because somebody is not looking at. They have a choice. They have a direction to go, but yet they are trying to find a new perspective. There's 3, right, on the T, the upside down T. There is a 3 on this card. There's maybe 3 different paths, 3 choices between 3 people. And there's just this conflict. There's talking it out with somebody else. There being 2 cups, okay? But there's worry, and there's worry that when this truth comes out, somebody is not going to want to deal with another person. Like they're going to be apathetic to them. They're going to cut them off. They're going to maybe not believe them. There's going to be truth, right? We're talking about truth. So somebody is concerned of what the truth is. This could be you needing to talk to somebody and you're worried about them not thinking that you're being truthful. Or it could be that somebody needs to talk to you and you worry that they're not being truthful. But this all has to do with, is it all true? Are you telling me everything? Are you telling me the truth about things to where I can get a good understanding of which direction I need to go? And somebody's worried that they might not be interested in who this person truly is or who you truly are. Maybe somebody wants to bring up the truth of like what somebody truly believes in and where somebody wants to go and the truth about somebody's feelings. But they're either you or somebody connected to you. This person is concerned that there's going to be a very not interested, apathetic response to this. Okay, so we have our basis of, okay, somebody's concerned or been thinking about like truths, right? And about what is the truth? Will I be believed? Okay, so this defensiveness, maybe somebody's holding back because it's almost like they self-project. I know there's self-actualization on the board, but they project what they think maybe they would do or how they would respond. And so in knowing how they would respond in the same situation, right? If tables were turned or it was, reversed, they then all of a sudden get defensive, and it's an ego protecting mechanism, right? So this 7 of Wands, tell me about that. What is that? Why is there 7 of Wands here? Talkaholic. Talks endlessly, usually about themselves, one-man show, hardly asks you any questions. Deep fake makes it appear as if somebody said or did something they never actually did. Deception, distorted truth. Here we're talking about truth again, right? Truth. beating around the bush, not being forthcoming, not saying something directly, difficult to say, afraid, or shy. I mean, we just keep going around and around with the same information from these cards. Not telling the truth, not bringing up the truth. Somebody is trying to take charge, but there's a lack of integrity in regards to what is the truth. What is the God's honest truth about the situation? Bringing it up and just saying something versus squandering under fear and defensiveness and worry and stress and burden, right? What's the truth? Not let's get some of it out there. Let's just tell, I'll give enough information and some of it'll be true. So, no, you can't do that. You bring the truth to the table completely and fully. And if somebody else accepts it, great. You're on a great path, right? You can decide what to do. If somebody else doesn't accept it, fine. Not your concern. This could be somebody in your life who wants to control a narrative, because instead of changing their outlook and the way that they see the world, they want to change everybody else's bubbles, or they want to change everybody else's perspective to see them the way that they want them to be seen. What do you believe in? What do you think of yourself? Who do you believe you are? What do you believe you think? Things like that, I think, are being spotlighted right now, very highlighted in this Mercury in retrograde, in Leo, this powerful, there's all this, everything that's on the board is, so Master of the Universe, power, okay, so hollow, empty, shallow, pretty, if that on the outside but nothing on the inside, airhead, head in the clouds, deadbeat, irresponsible, mascot, embodies the essence or values of a good person, belonging, good fortune, and team spirit, white noise, filtering out distraction, boiler room, there's a lot of energy that's on the table of pretending. That's what this is. This is pretending to be who you think, or your person is pretending to be who they think that they think somebody else wants them to be. Make sense? There's no genuine, authentic give or conversation or dialect or information that has been happening in this engagement or these relationships or these situations. The pretending, the putting on a show, the fantasy. Leo, right? We talked about the showstopper in the last read. Leo, this is about truth. This is about self-identity and being genuine, and all of this is about conflict and toxicity, because there's no truth that lies anywhere within this situation about anything. Blowing smoke is what I heard with this one. There's a lot of smoke and mirrors, right? Illusion, delusion. That is the retrograde of Neptune, and like bait and switch, catfishing, pretending to be somebody. And there is somebody here who is like everything around them that's revolved around them right now is that, and that's something that they're thinking about at this time. Okay, so what do you want me to tell them about this then? All right. There needs to be real conversation. There needs to be real dialect. There needs to be honest, upfront, transparent, not strategy, not strategic, not game playing, conversation of who truly somebody is, and laying it out there without worry of whether somebody stays or goes. And that's what's unconditional about friendship, about love, there might be endings, right? But there might very well be justice in those endings if somebody's pretending. Or let me put it to you this way. If you become authentic, or your person becomes authentic enough to lay all the cards out on the table, and somebody around them, or you or them, decide, you know what, I can't accept that, I don't agree with that person, or I can't accept them for who they are, isn't, in all actuality, isn't an ending the actual justice? Because why would you want those people in your life, right? Are you worse off in pretending to continue to like something, continue to like where you're at, what you're doing, who you're with, if you're not happy, versus being authentic? Okay, so if things change, they change for the better, because then you're being authentic and real, and you don't have to pretend anymore, because that's exhausting. You don't have to deal with the people that you're, or the places or the things that you're involved with that you're unhappy with, right? And the people who can't accept it aren't truly good people that are going to raise you up, right? They are just going to pull you down, and they're vampires of your energy. So if they leave, it's a win-win-win, right? It's a win-win-win for you if somebody doesn't stick around because you're being authentic. Does that make sense? Like, so where's the downfall of, or where's the problem? I don't see the problem with being authentic. It's, you win every time, right? So Knight of Wands, somebody that is pretending to be in this energy of, player energy, this is coming to an end. And okay, so they're Aries, Leo, Sag, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, Queen of Cups. Somebody wants to speak up. There's this desire that they have within them. This person, somebody here, is currently in this desire. It's building this fire within them that they are done. They don't want to do this anymore. They don't want to pretend anymore. They are unhappy. And if they are unhappy, they want to speak the truth. They want to speak what it is and travel. Somebody here could be traveling towards a Queen of Cups, or just towards this new, she's being invigorated. She's with water. She's, putting out the fire. So with these conflicts, the constant battle and the exhaustion, putting that out with, water, blue feelings, not overly feeling, but just balancing, right? We talked a lot last year about balancing out the masculine and feminine, and that's exactly what we're all trying to do all the time. And truths revealed on this Justice card, that's what that says, truths revealed. There's a truth from this Knight of Wands energy. It doesn't have to be an Aries, Leo, Sag, but it is this energy. Somebody in your life, or a connection to you or yourself, has this desire, this heat is building, this pressure is building to stop and halt the old way of being, the people that you're around, the people pleasers, the places that you're agreeing to go, the things that you're agreeing to do, money that you're agreeing to spend, out of wanting somebody to look at you a certain way. And it keeps truths at bay, right? Because it's a lot easier to pretend, but it's exhausting, versus truly being yourself, putting your ego down, and if somebody leaves, looking at it from a perspective of, great, there's my justice. They left, and now I don't have to deal with that anymore, and I get to still be authentic. And I think that has everything to do with the rest of this being that it's showing the fakeness underneath the illusion, right? Underneath, somebody is being, there's a delusion that's happening, and it's kept somebody very small. It's kept them, their power out of their hands. And that's been done purposefully. So whether this be you, we talked about it last week as well, or your person, there is a manipulative tactic being used, whether it be with kids, whether it be with money, whether it be with blackmail, whether it be with, I'm going to tell a secret I know about you, whatever it is, there's some grip that somebody has on you or your person to not execute honesty, truthfulness, authenticity, genuine ingenuity and creativity, because they can't seem to bring themselves to be able to do that. So they don't want that from the people that they believe that they puppet. By filtering out distraction, which I think is where this person is going to, and bringing truths to the table, and not beating around the bush, not telling half truths, no smoke and mirrors, no, projecting, gaslighting. With all that gone, somebody is able to come into full acceptance of who they are, regardless, because they let that go, that, they end up validating themselves, right? And they let it go around them, not interested in needing to be validated, being their own best friend, right? Which then, that is what brings in that full acceptance of who they are, which brings this massive feeling and sense of freedom. And I think somebody's been stuck for a very long time in this way of life, not understanding, or maybe even not being taught, like, the huge responsibility and the gravity of honesty and not lying, and all the lies that that are told. I think I read somewhere the saying, and I don't know, oh my gosh, it was so long ago, one lie will overtake like a lifetime of truths, just one lie. So if you're lying, or if you're not being honest, or if you're not being truthful, or if somebody around you isn't, over and over and over again, can you ever make up for that? Can you ever get people to trust you again? The little, or the boy who cried wolf, right? So I think that somebody, has been going through this for a long time. Are they, tell me if this person is actually waking up to these principles, this, this just good judgment of telling the truth, no matter the reaction, no matter what happens on the outside, no matter what anybody does or says or thinks, or, it does not matter. Yes, but not in the way you expect. So somebody is opening to these truths. Somebody is understanding these concepts and these principles of just being a good person, of just being an honest person, so that people can make their own decisions based on that. So yes, but not but not in the way you expect, and that's an 8 card. So the Leo energy. This one is a 10 card, so that's an ending. So maybe I'm hearing that maybe they're starting to understand this, but it hasn't completely ended. Maybe that behavior of lying a lot. And I don't think that they're having a victory right now, and I think that that's why currently there is this fire and this, this pressure. Somebody is getting angry. Somebody is, feeling the heat of whatever the situation is. And so that is how I think that they are understanding these principles. It's like they're actively going through it themselves, and that is what is bringing up their own lessons of how they behave or what they do. It's like an eye for an eye, right? And I think it's just this, it's not okay, here's a situation, here's a problem, and this is going to solve it, just up and solve it. I think it's a give and take. It's a learning process. It's like, I'm getting this image of like the pottery, you don't just put your hands on it and, and there you go, you've made a pottery piece. You actually have to get some motion going. You have to have some momentum going, and getting that spinning, and you have to mold it with your hands. And the same thing with changing life situations, changing core values, changing cultural beliefs, changing family pressure, changing friend, encouragement and toxicity, or doing something that somebody else wants for you to do, because that is just them essentially controlling the narrative for themselves so that you can see them a certain way, whether that's powerful, whether that's in charge, whether that is a hero, this hero complex. I'm going to save the day. No matter what it is, the fact is that that's all they're doing, is trying to control a narrative, just like you are, if you aren't letting go of control and just allowing things to be. So I think that is the message. These messages sometimes always start out so messy and so slow, and I've had a headache all day, so I apologize if I'm a little slower today, but this gives a good idea of maybe what is happening. And I don't really feel like this is you necessarily. It could be something that you're going through, but if you're here and you're watching me, right, well, you're here for the message, not for me, but here for the message through me, then there has been change on your side, or the want for change. And whether that is dealing with somebody like this, or being around people like this, or even just understanding a way of being that, whether it's not being authentic, or whether it's, not telling the truth about who you truly are, what you really want. And it's coming to a head. It's a molding process. It's a give and take within yourself and who you are. But, it all gets worked out, kind of like, and maybe that's the reason I felt like this message was kind of all over the board and I was a little slower and I was lagging, is because you're going to have those moments. It's not going to be just a one and done. It's going to be a massaging of this energy, with working with the energy and massaging lessons and karma and cycles, closing up patterns and changing behaviors, not just talking about changing something, but actually changing. And then eventually you'll see that pottery piece become, what it is, beautiful and whole and complete and finished. And that part of the journey, or that lesson, right? Because we're always in the journey, we're always learning lessons, but that lesson that project will have been completed. Anyways, I think that's kind of what happened here. I am ready to fall asleep. My head's killing me, but that's the message I have right now. So either you or your person are going through this. This is the question in this current energy of authenticity, being authentic. Have a good day. Bye.